What's happening, collective? What are you doing? It's time for some Posada. A jiggly tarot read from your favorite horsey voice tarot reader. If that kind of tarot reading sounds interesting to you, hit subscribe, grab a drink, come sit next to me on my bed. We have some reads to get through. Oh, now, normally I would not be doing this. But Spirit is like, I don't care you're busy. I have a message or two for you, sweetheart. And I said, okay, Spirit, well, since you put it that way, I better get off my lazy arse. So here I am. I sang all the songs today, except for one. And because the lyrics aren't finished, I'm having a pretty tough time finishing them. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like, I can finish them and still keep, like, the copyright and everything, but, like, I want it as done as possible before I send it in. So I've been singing and in studio all morning, and then hopefully I'll be done tomorrow, and I'll have some edits, and then off to the copyright office. So it looks like we've got someone in the lion's mouth, and I'm going to say, or in the devil's mouth. I'm going to say that this is a little further south America. Okay. Number 8 here, too, for a nice big old Saturn message. And I gotta see if I know where this translation is for this deck because it's in Russian. Listen, it was where it was, guys. It's in Russian, but it was the only place that had anything for South America. I know, right? How crazy is that? Anyway, so here it is. Haha, I'm so organized. Hell yeah. So to me, this is a Mayan sacrifice. I've been seeing a lot of jaguars lately. You know what? Since you're a sacrifice, buddy, let's put you up here. I'm almost done with the show, guys. I promise I'll get back on all the regular reads and have more in the regular daytime. But right now, this is all I can give Spirit as I am called. Until I have to go do the next thing. Let's see here. All right, so a Mayan offering. Hell, this is old. There's also something about sacred furs. Do you know about sacred furs and sacred skins? It's funny, my great aunt worked for a furrier back in Iowa. I'll tell you more about her later. But so I've always kind of had a vague interest in furs and and as more like kind of a horror show oddity kind of thing. But then I had this dream with, funny enough, with my muse, where I don't want to get too much into it, but there were a lot of sacred skins there, a lot of like really special sacred furs. So I looked into it, and it turns out like there's a lot of divination within wearing the fur of a sacred animal. And I know it sounds horrible, in some respects, but in other respects, there's magic in it. And even though we're not practicing, it's still being practiced. The Windsors just had a bunch of sacred furs out for King Charles's coronation. And one of the furs that I found really interesting was a weasel. And I thought, how gross to have a weasel as one of your sacred furs. Oh, here we go. Okay, the Two of Wands. And that those sacred furs, some things that, because we are earth dwelling, earth bearing, there are some sacred rites that we just have to do, even if it is to us barbaric. Even though I find keeping animals and stuff like that barbaric. Like if you're doing it a lot and you're just because everyone wants one, but if there's a real sacred reason, then no, just like, sometimes they've got to kill a whale. Wow, the Two of Wands and the Two of I thought these were wands. No, this is a Two of Swords, Two of Spears, Two of Wands, or Two of Torches. Two, and then one more. I don't know why. I feel like it's important I'm saying this, but um, so there's something about sacred furs, sacred winds, sacred fires also here. Sacred fire. We are at the fire altar. It's Scribe Collective. Oh, look at, yeah, we're at the fire altar. This is something you need to know. King of Swords is out here. Okay. It's something that we need to learn to pilot. This is getting good. And I think that's why the devil's here, because the devil doesn't just represent like evil. The devil also represents the earthly realm and the ruler of the earth realm. And so it's important to understand the earth realm traditions. And even if you might not be, Native American, if you, by the way, they don't call themselves Native Americans, by the way, they call themselves by their tribe name, but I digress. If you, um, if you're living in that land, there's things within the energy field that the land may be calling you to do. So you see some people being called to grid work and things like that. Some people like me are called to move around a lot. I think there's something about that too. It's replenishing the waters. You hold the sacred codes, sacred grid codes. Solar talks about it a lot. It's just how you resonate, and anyone could get one of these things. Anyway, so here I believe we're being told by our Aztec family that we need to do some kind of sacred rite. So let's look and see if I can't find the Two of Wands and the Two of Swords. Let's see here. And photos. Thank you. It's like, how would you like this to open? I'm like, I don't know how it always opens. I'm like, I didn't know it was real like that. The Fool, the Empress, Chalices, Swords. Two Swords is the great game of Pelotia. Sees both winners and losers. Who will know how to pass the test? The judgment of destiny and the magic struggle against the adversaries. That's what I was about to say. So even though we don't practice these other people are practicing these things. And I always say this all the time. Yes, we are humble. But if you are called to a certain position, you really need to consider going to that position. Like, there is too much humility going on right now. Like, just way too much. You think there's not, but the people who resonate are too fucking humble. You need to take that space because these people are using these magics to work their energy here in this field, and we aren't. And I feel like we're being called to do that. There is a magic struggle against adversaries that we need to be aware of. And part of that battling that magic is sacred first. Hit subscribe, collective. The two of mother effing pentacles is here. Okay. 222. That's a lot of this is going to be a longer read, guys. I'm sorry. All right, let's just keep going. I got to get my sun deck out because there's so much sunshine out here. And it's so funny too because I was called to the moon. I got all my moon decks out, and they're like, "Nope, grab that sun deck." And I'm just like, "Okay." And then thank God I did because I hate getting off the bed when I'm doing bed. Let's see. So there's a magic game, but it's not a game. We're in this judgment and destiny. And maybe part of it is like you have to do some of these magical practices in this realm, excuse me, on this plane in order to fight in this magical struggle. Hit subscribe. Hit subscribe, collective. Two of Wands. The wise men share the same hearthstone, thereby forming alliances and attaining balance. Yes. So I feel like still we're being called to come together as wise human beings that are starting to really wake up and understand what's going on in the system that's running around us. Hearthstone is also giving focus, which is also giving Hestia, the goddess of the threshold. There's also the winged goddess in Egypt, who's also the goddess of the threshold. These are gods and goddesses that were so great, people didn't have monuments to them that were gigantic because everyone had a threshold, right? That's how big the god was. I always say we strive for dusty shelves as artists, and that's kind of like what it is. That's when you know you're big. When you're a part of the walls. Like, oh yeah, and here's my Julie Andrews, you know, music collection. It's a scribe collective. You know, like I need it. It's always with me. It's just what I have. I have my Pride and Prejudice, 1995, Jennifer Eel, Colin Firth. Hit subscribe. So those of us who are the same, we're obviously there's a big call coming out. So we need to start forming alliances to attain balance. All right, two of sons. I'm so excited to be able to use this deck. Strange peoples come from the sea. The true enemy is indecision in both trade and fear. That's interesting, you guys. The sea peoples. The sea peoples are who showed up in the during the old oracle times in like Greece or whatever. That's funny that this would be in this deck. Did they have the same thing happen in South America? I guess they did, right? The sea peoples would be the Spanish, right? Maybe some of the Vikings too. I don't know. It's a scribe collective. Strange peoples come from the sea. True enemy is indecision. Maybe it's deciding if if the people that are coming from the sea are the enemies, friend or foe. Okay, and then we have the eight of, I'm going to say chalices. Humble humble koi, ku. Hunab ku, the life force of all, is balance, maturity of the soul, and perseverance of actions. And then I'm going to just look for the Ace of Pentacles. The maize is ripe and ready for harvest, bringing prosperity that leads to victory. So, okay, collective, I'm just going to go out on a limb and just say, like, I feel like we're being called to learn how to wield this weapon, this machine of earth beast, man, whatever. And I think a part of that is we're being called to, if you are being called to try to understand the divination of furs. And I was saying sacred jaguar, and I keep seeing jaguar, so there might be something about that. There might be something about a jaguar fur. Independence. This must be independent from your ego. This can't be something that you're hearing and you're getting all excited over, um, because you're like, oh yeah, I'm the one. No, no. Okay, that is not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying here is, I'm looking. I just saw ego. I fucking threw it back in the pile. I know. I'm sorry, collective. I told you I'm learning still. Okay, so this is for a very specific person. Aquarius is probably like, this is for, okay, in the Jewish traditions, there are a lot of like strange rules, like in the red cow sacrifice. In the red cow sacrifice, um, look, there's a kind of a cat there, like a bobcat, right? In the red calf sacrifice, you have to have a boy perform the sacrifice, and the boy specifically needs to be a certain age, and he needs to have never walked across a graveyard, like stuff like that. And the Jews really keep young men for centuries. And I'm not talking like, oh, it was for a year. No, sweetheart. They've been waiting for this red cow to show up for like 1,300 years. Hit subscribe, collective. I'm not fucking lying. It's been a long time. Okay? There are whole sects of people that just all they do is go out to look for the red heifer. And they hope not to find it. Okay? Yeah, there's nothing impulsive about this. There's nothing impulsive about this. It is an endurance. There's Jan. We're at a doorway, a threshold. Mind you, don't go too quickly. Sorry, what was I saying? It's an endurance thing. They have full control of themselves when they're doing this. They isolate themselves fully because they know the risk that will come if they publicly if they come out and live like the rest of us, then they won't be able to yield this magic. That's how fucking serious I am when I say this, okay? So, there are serious things going on. So this is for a extremely specific person, okay? This is not for you to flatter your ego. This is for someone who's in control of themselves. You are already on this journey, probably about this instinct you have about sacred furs. Okay, you probably already are. This is for a very specific human being. Maybe I'll be able to get some more ideas about this person. You guys, I've seen a lot of. I have a feeling that they know that like something's going to happen in South America. It's not just about Venezuela or whatever. I mean, magically. Because there's a reason they had all these children enslaved and trafficked over here. Okay, they're trying to dampen some kind of magic. What do I get to know now? Oh, let's go here. Let's go right to the high priestess. Oh, I see why. Like, I was so frustrated. Spirit was like, you need this deck and this deck and this deck. And I'm like, no, Spirit. That's too many. And now I'm like, oh my God, thank God. I got all these decks because, oh my God, this is an insane read. I don't even know what to make of this reading right now, collective. Very strange reading. All right, what are we at? 19 minutes. You know, I like to keep these short, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, I have shuffled you thoroughly, High Priestess. Oh, look. I cut the deck. We got the Ace of Swords and the High Priest. Okay, so this is definitely masculine magic. Now, do you have to be a man to do this magic? No. No. But you have to resonate with fire magic. You have to resonate with fur magic. You have to resonate as a high priest. You have to resonate with sacred furs. Aquarius, quarter moon. Something about this goddess of the statue. Something about Janus. Oh, wish come true. Yeah, this will be your wish come true. Something about home. Okay. Maybe hitting it home. That's what I heard. Thank you. It's flattery. There's something about these eyes, too. See? Sorry, I don't have my pointer. See his eye? There's a lot of, like, every eye is to the corner except this sun down at the bottom. It's like everyone's looking at the statue. There's something about this. Something about the quarter moon. The number 2 on this card is independence. And you know what? It could be that this is a high priestess. Let me get this. This is a wild read. It's wild. Okay, we're at Aquarius. Okay, wait. Where is Aquarius? Where is it? No, it's the moon. Sorry. The moon. Suit of security. Number 2. No. It's not card number 2. It's card 11. Oh, that's confirmation then for this. Okay, got it. Thank you. I may have said that at 22:22. Check me on the way. I'm on the other side, babe. Moon in Aquarius. Above on a plinth in front of the circular plane of the British temple Stonehenge, an Egyptian female royal figure to either side of the sign of water, the water carrier, and a waxing crescent moon. The members of Karnak, France, initiate the yearly cycles of the sun and the moon. Didn't I say it was drawn to the moon too? Or yeah, and I got all these cards for that. That's hilarious. Okay, well. Oh my God, collective. This is a very strange reading. They didn't mention which goddess this was. I can't tell. Excuse me, collective, my voice. Okay, so let's see here. Posada wants us to know something about sacred fur and sacred fire. Something on how to run our machine. There's something about, but not necessarily about, a jaguar or some kind of bobcat. Rams here with the high priest. We're supposed to do some kind of magic working. This is knowledge being certified or brought to you, the high priest. This is for a very specific person. This person's already balancing some kind of magic already within this realm. But you need to know that you're on the right track and you're not having, like, it's not irrational. Like, this is here to confirm to you that, yeah, you are being called for some kind of, to some kind of sacred ceremony. Wow. You see what else I can get. I'll do this and then I'll do a couple moon cards. And I wasn't going to use this deck, but it has a lot of Spanish influence, and the Spanish might know something of this ancient occultic practice, I guess. Which I see why they would, because the Spanish were, you know, great explorers. What kind of magic is this, Spirit? Thank you for bringing me this message, Spirit. The Leviathan. Bad wolf. We're being brought to clear the temple. We're being asked to clear the temple. Fucking A. We're being asked to use our sword of truth, our words of truth, and our light of truth into this dark practice. To water the tree. If you understand what mandrake is, you understand how and where mandrake grows. If you understand where and how mandrake grows, then I don't need to say anything else to you. You already know. And if you don't know anything, then you won't even remember what I'm saying or understand what I'm saying now. And you've already forgotten. This magic must be redeemed. The piety act was not utopia. The drunkard and the harlot have become bedfellows. They have a chaotic pedigree. Wow. Okay, no wonder you wanted me to get up and give this message. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. Yeah, this was not utopia. Piety act. Redemption. Redeem magic. 22. 2-2. That's our confirmation. The number 2. High priestess seeing in to the grotto beyond the veil. Isis veil is black. Yeah. to clear out. Wow. Okay. To clear the temple, punish the guilty. There's a number 2, guys. All right. Well, I'm going to leave it there because it's getting kind of... No, I'm not going to leave it there. I'm not. What are the most important cards from that that we need to separate the beast? This is the drum beat. Oh, of the ceremony. Oh. There's something about the ceremony. You're going to need drums to light. You're going to use your light, your voice, and your union. Punish. Deliver us from evil. Wow. All right. Let's get some... Let's get some... Do you think that Mandrake could be the statue? Do you think the Mandrake could be the statue? I don't know. Okay, we need Moonmans. Where are you? And stars. And I think then you'll be fine. You'll know where to start. Because whoever you already know that you have... you already know that you're already on this mission. So this is just a touchstone for you. So what's going to happen now is you're going to get a little bit, this is just kind of like confirmation, like, yes, your need for getting furs is real. You are in search of something for your frequency that you need, and you are on some kind of mission from God. Like, that's how I read the cards collective. And please feel free to put down what you think and any diagnosis you have for me. I'm always happy to hear them. My favorites I highlight. And subscribe. Stay tuned and subscribe. So we've had a lot of confirmation. If you want to consider what I say is confirmation, confirming. What? This was upside down. Sorry about that. These are hard for me to see still in a weird way. Oh man, I wish I could put the high priest there. That would be so awesome. So you're going to work some magic, high priest. You are already aware of this. You are already on this journey. I hope this has given you some kind of idea of what you're meant to do. You probably already know that. I promise you, this is what the cards told me earlier today, and now I'm talking to you about sacred furs. Hit subscribe. This is something with Janus, something with the Janus doorway. What was I going to say to you? Rebalancing. Number 2 is on the Janus card again, to Gemini. Gemini is also the doorway. This might be something you do in Gemini season. I think as a high priest, you need to be in... This is a high priest who's in command of his high priestess energy. This is a high priest who can wield some feminine magic. Is that Gemini? Yeah, full moon in Gemini. You'll receive more answers about this quest that you're on in the full moon in Gemini. Work through your fears. This may be really uncomfortable for you. Yeah. Get out of your comfort zone. Again, it just flipped out. All right. This deck is very powerful, you guys. So this ceremony is going to be around Gemini season. It's about rebalancing. It's about a fresh new start. Which is so funny because that's a song in the show. Fresh new start. Oh, look. North Node Sagittarius. Thank you, Jack. You guys, the world card. Shoot your arrow straight and aim. Anything else I need to know? Sorry this is so long, but this is very strange. Neptune, Pisces, subconscious, karmic depths, escapism, dreams, endings, afterlife, secrets, subversion, hidden encounters, and seclusion. There's something about the secrets and the afterlife. You may also resonate as getting messages from death or from the Grim Reaper. I know people get scared when you say that, but just remember that death is an angel. Yeah, death is an angel. It is a high honor. Oh, look, Jupiter and Sagittarius again. Religion, higher mind, philosophy, law, morals, ethics, big ideas, ceremony. Yeah, ceremony. There's something here about a ceremony. You're going to need a sacred fur. You may be thinking jaguar, but it could very well be this bobcat, the sun, Leo. It may go from Gemini to Leo season. Yeah, masculinity. Again, masculinity. Look, here's Gemini again. Sagittarius again. Open to influence, flexible, tolerant, adaptable. Actions. Stop, destroy, end, and death. Yeah, and it's mutable, moo. There's something here about rebalancing and putting an end to whatever it is that's been going on with how they have been using this magic. So you're being called because there's a rule in the world in magic. If you summon it from above, it will come from below. If you summon it from below, it will come from above. And not always everything from, but there's a balance, and it's a big lesson that people do not fucking learn. Okay, and then there's confirmation again with Aquarius and the 11th card, number 11 again. So it's something you're starting now, and I think it starts now with this message because I think we're in Pisces season, but we just got out of Aquarius season. I think so. This is eccentric. All right, I'm gonna leave it here. There'll be more messages about this collective. I know it. I usually have that happen. If I get any more messages about the sacred furs, I will title it as Posada Sacred Fur Continued or something. And then if you want to get the update, hit subscribe and click the bell, and you will always get my most updated readings. I'm feeling like we need to do a sacred animal read with this. So I'm going to take a picture of this spread, and we'll get everything out again and figure it out. Anyway, it's super cool hanging with you guys. Sorry it took so long. Probably try to get out one more message tonight. And thanks for hanging in with me while I finish my musical. I love you all so much.